Okay, here we are for round 4. Let's have a look and see what our opponent's playing. Looks like Solar Flare. Basically the Esper mid-range deck that now I believe uses Blade Splicer as well, and Sun Titan. Yep. So while we're waiting, we'll take a look at the actual listing of the deck. Here we are as the Esper mid-range. And yeah, so she has 2 copies of Mana Leak, so we won't have to hold back as much on the counters. Looks like he is looking at our deck and looking at our past matches here. The nice thing about our deck is that it is a rogue deck. It's not a common deck, so many opponents will not know really how to play against it. And it looks like he is deciding if he wants to keep his hand. This hand, I think against this deck, I think this hand is going to be okay. The turn 1 Grafdigger's Cage is going to be really big against him in terms of getting extra value there. Stopping his Sun Titans from recurring the images is going to be big. So I think this will work. Opponent's down to 6. And if we can get a little bit of early game, I like seeing the collar here just to help us with any kind of wrath effects if we do run into that. This also helps against Lingering Souls. Here we are going to run out the collar, just because we have a lot of stuff in our hand we want to get out of the hand. So there's the Blade Splicer. He's probably going to go for the copy or the Restoration Angel. So it's very important here that I think we want to just Mortar Pot and take it out. We could also drop Trinket Mage here or Silverblade Paladin, but I think I would much rather stop the shenanigans before they begin. We don't want to even give him the untap, just because then he can respond by using the Restoration Angel, so we just want to kill it now. I mean, to be fair, I suppose we could have, just because if he taps out and plays something else, he won't have enough mana for Restoration Angel also. So it might have been better to sit there. If he had 6 mana, we'd want to kill it then, just because he could then Image and then Blade Splicer and then Restoration Angel in response. But at 4, we shouldn't need to worry about that. Okay, so that probably a misplay there. What do we want to do here? We could go Trinket Mage, try to thin out our deck, grab a little bit more land, or have a chance of getting land next turn. We're really going to need land here pretty soon. We could also gather. Or just drop Silverblade. I think that I kind of like Trinket Mage here more, just because it thins our deck out a little bit. If we do draw Paladin, it's going to be more effective. So now we take 6, go to 11. He's just going to go hard pressure here. So killing the Blade Splicer though main phase was definitely a misplay there, given the land count. There's the angel. What's our play? So I think we have to go Silver Blade here. Take out 2 of the golems. Take 7, go to 4, then drop Gather. If he has any kind of removal here, either Doomblade or go for the throat, we're really in trouble. Or O-Ring. So this could just be game right here. So he attacks everybody. 3, 6, 9, 12, 13. Block here, go to 2. Go to 1. That should be game, unfortunately. So let's see, if we had held on to the mortar pod until his turn, whiffed the attack, we would be at 4. Go to 1. Potentially would have had a chance at stabilizing here. Puresteel. If we had that, then we would have had this out. Could Puresteel, and actually we could have won if we had. So that misplay cost us the game with the extra turn from the Puresteel. We would have been able to entirely kill most of his guys here, and then hopefully should have been able to come back. So every play counts. Alright, what is the sideboard against the Esper control? I think Ratchet Bomb is actually a pretty good answer to a lot of golems. Feast and Famine I think is going to be good against control in general, but he's more of a beatdown deck, really. Let's have a look. Let's see. So what does he board into? He's got Ratchet Bomb, Divine Offering, some removal. And I think his plan is just to pretty much just jam the Blade Splicers and just make a lot of guys. Okay. I think we need O-Ring for his Titan. The Ratchet Bomb. Nevermore also is great against Titan, or potentially Restoration Angel. What do we cut, though? How important is Grafdiggers? It's good against Lingering Souls, Forbidden Alchemy, Snapcaster. Okay, so that's actually pretty good. Not sure about this. The Feast and Famine I think is good, but I'm thinking that War and Peace might almost be more important, just getting through his angels. What do we cut? Since he doesn't have a whole lot of removal, I mean in terms of at least artifact removal, I think the Gather is actually quite important. Also, it doesn't look like he has any kind of Day of Judgment. He might have it in. I mean, this player could be running it, but we're not seeing it here. The other thing is we could take out Restoration Angel of our own, bring in Nevermore to shut down his angels. That's potentially an option. Let's see, Trinket Mage is good. I think the Collar plan is actually definitely going to be our play. So if we cut Angel, we can go toe-to-toe with Splicers. So we cut the Angel plan, we cut the Splicers, bring in the bombs. In that case, we bring in Nevermore. Definitely want the O-Ring. What else do we cut? Do we cut this maybe for the second O-Ring? Not sure about the board here, but we're going to try this and see how it works. Well, this hand is okay. It's not amazing. I guess the only problem with this plan is that the Gather's also if we're going to be running the ratchet bomb play, it's not exactly a combo with Gather the Townsfolk. So like maybe the better play is to take out the Gathers also. I'm not sure. He could board into like 2 more Dissipate and have like 4 counters, but I think just by locking down his graveyard, we gain a lot. So he probably goes Splicer here. There's the Splicer. Okay. Alright. So I think we just need to O-ring his Splicer flat out. Like, we don't want him to go off the Splicer, and like, Splicer's the key to him going off. Extra mana. That's fine. So now he's probably looking for the other Splicer. The nice thing about this deck is it does completely centralize around Blade Splicer, so if we can remove the Splicers, it gives us a lot more leeway. Okay, there's the Mortar Pod. And now at this point, we definitely want a Mortar Pod as Snapcaster so we can't recur it with the Restoration Angel. So now he's going to be going for Sun Titan. So our plan is to go Nevermore for Titan. I mean, I guess we could drop Ratchet Bomb first to get the Metalcraft. I think we go Nevermore first here, actually. So we shut down Sun Titan, he can't recur his shenanigans. We could have also locked out Restoration Angel there since we boarded ours out, which might have been good. But I think Sun Titan is just so hard to deal with for us. I mean, now we could just we could take out the golem here, but I almost want the Snapcaster dead more. I think it's a little bit more dangerous. We don't want to have Restoration Angel be affecting it. And we can kill the golem at any time with the Ratchet Bomb. So now, end of turn, we're just going to go ahead, shoot him for one, and then start bashing in the air. Like, he could have, like, Lingering Souls here. Should definitely be unfortunate. Okay, so he does have the Angel, but forcing the Angel here is fine, because we don't really lose much. He doesn't get any value out of it. He whiffs one of our attackers, which is fine. And now we can just kill the Angel, so that works out just fine. Actually, because here we want to move the collar over here, and then we'll drop out pod on one of these spirits. So there's the Singleton Forbidden Alchemy. Now he's looking for another Splicer, no doubt. So we've taken out 2 Splicers out of the 4. We can keep Splicers off the table, because he'll ideally want to go Splicer into Angel. But should be in a pretty good spot. Just try to race him here. It's definitely exactly what we wanted to see there. Get a little bit more damage in. He does have the counter. We could start ramping up Ratchet Bomb also. I mean, being able to whiff his golem is not that important right now. I mean, I suppose he could just go Lingering Souls. But even then, I think with the spirit count we've got up, it's probably worth doing. The nice thing about keeping the Ratchet Bomb where it is, though, is that if he does start going shenanigans with his Blade Splicers, we will have answers. He's definitely not casting Sun Titan. There's the Forbidden Alchemy, okay. So he's probably looking for Snapcast here, and then so you can start recurring. What does he have? He has the Doomblade and the Metal Misstep. Or Dismember. So at this point, we have him dead on the table if he can't respond. He does have the... Oh man, that was foolish. That was very foolish. Shit. Now he's going to gain life off the Golem. Should have moved the Mortar Pot onto the Spirit that was untapped. Luckily, he didn't see it, or has other plans. So here he probably goes Restoration Angel, and we just Mortar Pod whichever guy he blocks this guy the collar, so we shoot our own guy. Does that work? Ugh. 4. That's his plan for sure. So if we do that, then he blocks and gives himself lifelink. So I think we just attack with... What we should have done is we should have attacked with just one guy with the Mortar Pot and the collar. But now since we know what he has, we'll just attack with the Mortar Pot and just do 1 damage to him. Because then if he makes the guy and tries to pull the shenanigans, we can just Mortar Pot in response. So basically the same thing's going to happen. He's going to take 1 damage here. Now, unfortunately, we don't have 2 Mortar Pods, but we do have a Ratchet Bomb. Alright, so how do we... What's the play here? So basically, next turn he's going to bash in, and then Spirit Link his guys. So if we Mortar Pod on the Spirit, keep these 2 up. If there's any kind of removal, he just gets us. But if he doesn't, we block and then before damage shoot him and then Ratchet Bomb the Golem away. So with that in mind, I think we Mortar Pot him to 1 point here, then move the Mortar Pot here, just so we can whiff his attack and then try to draw into something and win. I think that's the play. So if we can whiff his attack for 1 turn, and draw into something, we should hopefully be okay here. If he has the removal, we're unfortunately just sunk, but gives us an out. So I guess he does not have the removal. There's the vault. So we shoot him in response, then sack Ratchet Bomb. Okay, it's Lingering Soul, so we need to draw a creature. If we draw a human here, then it's ours. Or a sword. So we've got a 1-turn window to turn this around. And that wasn't it. Well, could we have played that any differently? Don't know. We could have, I think we played that best we could. Let's see, so if we bash in, he triple blocks, which at this point is worth it because he's going to be gaining a lot of life. We'd rather force the damage. Okay. Yeah. So we trade for 3 of his guys, he starts gaining life. Can we turn this around? Do we need Puresteel? Let's see what happens. Otherwise he bashes in, he gains 7, goes to 11. What can we draw into to pull ourselves out of this? Let's think. So we picked up Hero. We draw Sword. We could draw Ratchet Bomb, that would definitely help. So like we're drawing to Ratchet Bomb or Sword of War and Peace. So let's see, if we let him, if we just set, he goes to 11, we draw War and Peace, we bash in for about 6 or so, he gains, I think we just need to attack here. We need to reduce the number of his guys. And I think we do trade Puresteel for 3 of his spirits. He's probably just going to give us the 1. Yeah. Alright. So the question is it worth killing a spirit and blocking and killing another spirit? We do that, we take 5, 4, he goes to 8. And if we draw Sword of War and Peace, well, let's see, how many more artifacts do you have in our deck? I think keeping the Puresteel Paladin around, I think it's worth keeping Paladin around. We take 2 extra points of damage here. And he gains 2 extra life, so he goes up to 10. Still has us on a clock. Evermore. At this point, we probably want to choose. Let's see, he's got Doom right in the yard. Probably Restoration Angel. We really can't deal with another Restoration Angel. So I think we take 6 one more time. He goes to 13. We go to 8. Yeah. Hope to draw out of this. There's a go for the throat. Okay. So now we can at least whiff some damage here. So see, he attacks him, we go to 7. He goes to 15. Well, he may not even use the vault this turn. On the other hand, we could just block a spirit, take 4, go to 4. No, that just seems incorrect. Okay, so he goes to 14, we go to 7. We go to 3. That's not going to do it. Well, we can buy a turn. Let's see here, just to make sure it doesn't have a dissipate. He has the removal here. That's unfortunate. Okay. And that's game. Alright, so we will see you guys for the next round here for round 5. So basically, the way this match could have been a little bit different, I'm not sure we could have played this game that much differently. But game 1, if we had waited until his main phase, or his combat phase, to whiff the golem, we would have had 1 extra turn, with which we could have then had an extra turn to make 5 tokens, and then play the paladin, and then machine gun down his guys. So that misplay could potentially have cost us the match. But anyways, we will see you for round 5.